Hello, it's BananaLllama here, and today I'm going to be opening and reviewing the 5th Bakewell box. So let's get started. So let's actually open the box. So the box came with, as always, the recipe, a checklist of ingredients, some extra info and tips, and this month's recipe is a Bakewell tart, as well as the jam sugar, flour, icing sugar, caster sugar, red food colouring, ground almonds, a piping bag, a palette knife, and also a spatula. And so we also needed some raspberries, butter, uncooked rice, eggs, a tart tin, as well as some extra equipment. And so before actually baking, I needed to separate the flour into 3 separate amounts to use for different parts of the Bakewell tart. And I also needed to separate the icing sugar into 2 separate amounts. And then it was time to actually start making the Bakewell tart. So to begin with, I made the jam with the raspberries and also the jam sugar. So then I put the raspberries in a pan over a low heat and mashed them up, and then added the sugar to let it turn into jam. And then the raspberry jam, which was actually very easy to make, was finished. And then it was time to make the pastry. So to start with, I added some of the flour to a mixing bowl and I sieved it in as well. And then I added in all of the chilled butter. And then I rubbed the butter into the flour using my fingertips to create a breadcrumb-like texture, I guess. And then I added some of the icing sugar to the bowl. And then after mixing it all together, I added one of the eggs. And then this bit was actually quite hard. I rolled out the pastry and then added it to the tart tin, and somehow it actually managed to not turn out that bad, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then it was time to make the frangipan filling. I hope I said that right. So to begin with, I added some butter to a bowl along with some caster sugar. So then after creaming together the butter and sugar so it was all light and fluffy, I added the eggs. And I also added some flour. And then I added in all of the ground almonds. So then after the pastry case had chilled in the fridge for a bit, it was time to blind bake it. And then everything was ready to assemble. So first I spread out the jam on the bottom and also put the frangipan on top, and then the tart went into the oven to bake. And then I made the icing using the rest of the icing sugar. After adding some water and mixing it all together, I coloured some of it with the red food dye. And then the icing was complete. And when the tart had fully cooked and cooled, it was finally time to decorate. So to begin with, the white fondant icing went on top. So after spreading out the icing, I did the most messy feathering ever with the pink fondant icing, and then the Bakewell tart was complete. The The Bakewell tart was really fun to make, and actually I really enjoyed it, and also the jam is absolutely delicious. So overall I would say it's a success. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!